Hello and welcome to another episode of the Executive Hub Show. My name is Mustafa Hosseini with my guest today, Melissa Barlock. Welcome, Melissa.
Hi, great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Great to see you. And today we're talking about reinventing your career and building a dream. Let me do the proper introduction for Melissa. I'm going to dive into a very interesting conversation about building your dream. Melissa Barlock is the visionary founder and CEO of Inspire Dental Opportunities, a best-selling author on Amazon, and an international speaker. Her agency, a full-service dental recruitment firm, specializes in connecting dental professionals with both permanent and temporary roles across Canada. Welcome again, Melissa.
Thanks. Thanks for that intro. I don't really have anything else much to say after that.
Absolutely. How was your day so far?
It's great. It's a little bit cold here in Ontario, although I know out there in Alberta, we can't complain because you guys tend to have it worse than us. But cold day, but getting a lot done. We work faster when it's cold, right? So it's been
Absolutely.
productive. So I love that. Those are always good days.
Yeah, it kind of warmed up here, like we talked about before, and looks like the cold weather system is has come over to you guys now.
Yeah, thanks.
Beauty. So let's get into it. What's your story?
Oh gosh, there's so many stories. I'm assuming we're going to talk about the business story today.
Yes, give us
Considering,
your background story, where you started, how you got here, basically.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, considering the title of this is From Pivot to Purpose, I'll talk a little bit of how I got into the dental industry. That seems to be the number one question when people ask, "What do you do?" For business, and I share with them, I own a dental recruiting company. They're like, what? How on earth did you get into dental? Especially considering I'm not a dentist, I'm not a hygienist, I'm not a dental professional. So I'll try to give you the condensed version, but prior to opening my dental recruitment company, I was working actually for an American company. And in that company, I was building teams of people. I did a lot of speaking across North America, actually into Europe and parts of Asia as well. And it was a relationship marketing company. And so I out of a lot of my clients were realtors, mortgage brokers, financial advisors, and dentists. And this one particular dentist, I was training his team on how to the front desk on relationship marketing and patient retention with the tools that we had at my previous company. And he had asked me if I would ever consider working for him in the dental space. And he wanted me to actually do some recruiting for him and help him with business development. And at the time, I was so busy. I had two little kids at the time. They were like, I don't know, 3 and 5, and I just didn't have the time. I was busy, obviously traveling and doing well in this other company, and I said, thanks, but no thanks. And so fast forward a year after that, there were some major changes in my life, and I needed to make a change. I won't get too much into the details of that, but I had to reinvent myself. One door closed, and was really a turning point in my personal life, which I decided to bust open a new door, and I went back to that particular dentist and I said, hey, this is what's going on in my life. I need to think of some other opportunities, and if you're still open to having me help you with dental recruitment and business development, then I'd love to, but I'm not interested in working or being an employee. I will open up my own company and you can be my first client. And so he actually said yes. And so from there, I started working with him, and he had several offices at the time. Now he's got, gosh, I think over 25 or 30 offices across 3 provinces. And so I was really, really fortunate to partner with this particular dentist who really kind of coached and mentored me in the dental space. I knew all about recruitment, business development, relationship marketing, patient retention, reaching out to people. But I helped him with certain transferable skills that I had, and he helped me with the dental space. And from there, as he started building, He obviously needed to hire his own, HR team and in-house C-suite. So by that time, I had already made a lot of dental connections and got a lot of referrals and started building out my team and my company that way.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So the why about how you got into the dental world was you had a friend and then you chatted with him and he had a need for recruitment. Is that, did I get that right?
Yeah, so basically, yeah, pretty much it was a client and friend of mine who needed help with recruitment and business development, and I said yes, even though I didn't know anything about dental at the time, and I
Interesting.
stepped outside my comfort zone there, that's for sure.
Love it. And so you like you dived right into it.
I did.
Love it. And so what do you do now and who do you serve?
Yeah, so I'm still serving dentists. So my base is dentistry. So we are a dental recruitment company who help to connect dentists and dental practice owners with part-time, full-time, permanent, or temporary staff. So basically, we connect them and help our clients who are dentists to find staffing for their offices. We work with independent offices, sole proprietorships, as well as DSOs who have multiple offices. And we serve all Canadians all across Canada. I'm based in Ontario, but we've got clients and dental professionals all across Canada that we're connecting on a daily basis.
Do you go as far as Alberta and BC too?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Is it different? Like, is the culture different between provinces, like with the dentists?
That's a great question. I've never stopped to think about it, but now that you're asking that question,
Like,
I
are the Alberta doctors different than the Ontario doctors when it comes to, I don't know, their thinking and the way they
You
do
know what's
things?
interesting? So when it comes to dentistry and dentists, a lot of dentists they'll graduate in one province, and a lot of times they'll transfer over to different, like where the opportunities are. I will say that the biggest difference that I find in dentists or people in general are on the East Coast. The East Coast, they're so much more chill than, let's say, Ontario, for example. They're just really kind of easygoing. So, not that everybody else isn't super nice for sure, but you can tell that I would say there's more of a difference between East Coast, like New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Newfoundland. Very, very different vibe. A lot, not slow, but more kind of chill, if that makes sense.
Got it. Interesting. Interesting. Is there like a province where typically is easier to do business with?
Oh, I mean, gosh, it depends on.
Here's why I'm asking this
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
Like a friend of mine runs workshops,
Mhm.
and then he was saying when he does it in Vancouver compared to Calgary, the show up rate in Vancouver was like 30%, where in Calgary is 80%. Same workshop, same everything, and then and that massive show up rate difference.
Okay,
Uh,
interesting.
and then so it's like I'm wondering if there is a difference between provinces. That I'm just curious about that. I
Yeah,
guess.
I mean, I would say as a whole, probably the West Coast would be more kind of lax and chill as well in
Hmm.
terms of people. I would also say that a lot of times in like for example, Toronto, as opposed to being in a more rural area, they're so inundated with so many courses, so many classes, so many seminars that it's like, a dime a dozen. As
Hmm.
opposed to sometimes if you're in a more remote or rural area, not to say that Calgary is remote or rural at all, but maybe it isn't just so overdone, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
I mean, I do a lot of seminars and workshops as well for dentists, dental practice owners, hygienists, assistants, as well, and at the schools and stuff. And I would say that the outcome has actually been quite consistent, but I think it depends on the topic sometimes. I can't speak to that. I don't know what the topic was, but certainly there's a different vibe, and sometimes things are just so overdone, and people are doing
Yep.
it over and over and over
Hmm.
again. Yeah.
All good. So, what is the problem that you solve, and how do you solve them?
Well, staffing. I mean, I think staffing is a huge issue, not just in dentistry. I mean, any of my friends who are business owners or work for companies, like the number one pain point is staffing.
Mhm.
Even when I talk to dental sales reps or coaches, when you add or you talk to my clients, like what is the number one problem in your office? Staffing, bar none, is the highest because people are, we're sometimes unpredictable and it's hard to manage, right? Because you've got a lot of dentists dentists went to school for dentistry and they're really
Mhm.
good at dentistry. And up until recently, there was not such a big focus on the business of dentistry, which is why there's such a prevalence of dental coaches and companies who help with that. Also, this is why you see DSOs, a lot of the dental service organizations who have multiple offices so they can streamline the business of dentistry because a lot of dentists, they don't want to deal with that. That's not to
Mhm.
say all of them, but when a dentist has to worry about hiring, firing, recruitment, they they're taken away from the part of business that makes them money. And so that's why it's such a pain point, and it's a huge cost. It's one of talking to some of my friends who are accountants. They say that's one of the number one costs in the dental practice is staff turnover. So it's
Yeah.
really, really important to understand how to attract, not just attract, but to retain your staff. That is so important.
Yeah. Finding them, training them, keeping them is
Yeah.
all they're all like different animals.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, gosh, if you've gone to school for dentistry, you're not it's there's so many parts of the business that if that's not kind of your forte or you don't have somebody helping to guide you in that, that's where we come in for sure. That's what keeps us busy, which I'm grateful
100%.
for. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, without sharing personal information, give us an example of a client you work with. How did you find them, and what was the issue that they were experiencing?
Okay. Yeah. To be honest, we've
Like
been
a case
really
study.
Yeah, we've been really blessed that the majority of our clients are referrals. Knock on wood, because I mean, that's honestly, there's no greater gift than the gift of a referral, right? Because that's saying that you've done something right with your previous clients. People are talking about you in a positive way. Really, really important there. We do have a lot of people who reach out to us through the internet. Through Google searches, we tend to rank really high on Google. We're very present through the internet because of all the different events and seminars and trainings and things that we do to add to the community. But yeah, typically we'll get a referral. Somebody will reach out to us either through email, through LinkedIn, um, through some sort of platform to say, hey, I was introduced, or a friend of mine said that I should reach out. Or sometimes our clients or people in the industry will do an email introduction. So that's worked really well for us. And yeah, so I would say that, and also Google search has been really helpful for us.
Fantastic.
Hmm.
And then, so is there like, do you do all sorts of recruitments, like from the office team members to the doctors to the assistants, the whole?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do the entire dental office, from dentist to all auxiliary staff. So we do, reception, assistants, hygienists, treatment coordinators, office managers.
Mhm.
We've helped with oral surgeons, periodontists, specialists as well. In the past, we've also helped with some C-suite roles, although we don't, you know, get into that too much. But because we have such a vast network of dental professionals, naturally we're meeting so many people all the time.
Which staff type do you do a lot of, or there is a big need for?
Dentists, hygienists, then I would say assistants and reception would probably be,
Got it.
yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, this hiring process it's a difficult process, to say the least. The sheer amount of time that it takes to hire one person is yeah.
It's a lot of effort, and I think that's why, dentists get kind of um, discouraged,
Yeah.
because it's a lot of work, and you have such high hopes, and you've got a great office and you're excited to hire somebody, And then, you go through all this work and this money with advertising and posting everywhere. And, it can be frustrating, especially when you think you have this great candidate and then they don't show up,
Yeah.
which it happens, even we've had that happen with us as well. And people are people. Again, it's so kind of, it's fierce right now, every industry, but gosh, especially dental. You've got great candidates, and they may get snapped up by another office within an hour of them starting, at the one that you thought they would go to. So it's really important. Communication is huge. Staying on top of it. If you are not on top of following up with people, you're going to lose it. Fortune is in the follow up. I'm going to say that again. Fortune is in the follow
Amen.
up. This is so true. I know in your business as well, right? Like, you got to follow up with people. Don't just assume that they're going to be there because you talked to them once. It is an ongoing thing where you got to touch base with them, the candidate and the client and the dentist, because otherwise, it's like the shiny penny syndrome. They see another opportunity somewhere else
Yeah.
and they're gone. So you got to be quick.
And you're speaking my language. I mean, I ran a course called Simple Marketing Formula where we work on developing marketing plan, and the last step is always client or patient retention. And it's my favorite thing to do in marketing, and it's the easiest thing to do in marketing to get referrals, repeat business, and the rest of it, versus spending, I don't know, $400 to $800 to get a new dental patient or any other type of patient where you could.
100%. It's the 80/20 rule, which is
Yeah.
life, or the Pareto effect, right? It's if you spend, people tend to spend the most money and effort on the 80% of people that you got to drag across the finish line, as opposed to focusing on the 20% who are already in your pocket, meaning they're loyal, they appreciate you, they appreciate your business, and they're the ones who are going to be giving you the referrals. They're the ones that are going to keep coming back. So focus on the 20 and the 80 will come. It's
Yes.
really, really important to do that, because the 20 will go above and beyond. The 80 will just always do the bare minimum. And so that is, it's a different kind of shift. So it looks like we both, yeah, we are the same
Absolutely.
language.
You know, it's funny. I would share the script and I'd be like, "Gang, here's the script. Pick up the phone, have a very friendly, non-salesy conversation with your list, and you're gonna see 30 to 80% conversion rate on those calls."
Yep.
And they still wouldn't do it. And so I learned the long way that they just hate to pick up the phone. People.
I think some people are afraid of sales. And
Yeah.
I think of sales as simply building relationships and sharing ideas. Like, if you can just put it in your mindset that you're going out and you're making some friends today, imagine the shift that you would have, as opposed to, like, people are afraid that they're going to be that kind of slimy salesman. It's just, I have a completely different perspective. I remember one of my, well, this is my ex-husband now. He said to me once, he goes, "Man, you get paid to party." And like, I was heading out to another event and dressed out and going, and I'm always excited about these things. And he's like, "I feel like you get paid to party. You get paid to go out and meet people." And yeah, like, that's really what it is
Yeah.
is going out with the mindset of meeting people and having true, genuine connections.
Yeah.
How great is that? And when that happens, if you've got value to give, then people are naturally going to do business with you. It's the whole saying of people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And
Yes.
this is true. It's been true always, and it will always be true.
100%. 100%. Um, what makes your company different compared to the rest of the recruitment companies out there?
Me. Just kidding. No, not just me.
Well, you are different for sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, gosh, I could say all the things that everybody else would say is, we our loyalty, our integrity, and all this kind of stuff. All those things, of course, are true. We work the hardest and we go above and beyond. Yes, those things are all true. But I think that I think it's the mindset of education and teaching before transaction. I've never been a transactional type. Like, I've never focused on the money, if that makes sense. It's like focus on what you can give other people, focus on the value that you can give, and when you can actually serve other people, it ends up serving you always. And so I think it's the mindset and the culture. It's the core value of myself, which translates into the company. We obviously do recruitment, but we build relationships, we build friendships, and through that, one of the reasons why, and I'm sure we'll end up talking about this, I wanted to, write a book. It wasn't about me or making money. It was about, writing a book, books for the dental space, so that if I was doing a seminar, for example, I know that people are only going to, again, 80-20 rule, people are only going to hold on to maybe 20%. But here's something that you can walk away with, that you can refer to, a guide that's actually going to teach you. So if I can not only help to, help people find staff or make it a connection, but also teach them something that they're going to walk away with and have forever, that's going to benefit themselves and their business. If that makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah. Love it. Love it. I mean, the fact that you guys specialize in dental offices, that's a huge differentiating factor. I know a lot of recruitment companies that do everything for everybody, but
Yeah,
you
we
guys are
decided not to. And interesting you say that, because yeah, we're only dental, and I've had so many other companies reach out, or and say, in healthcare, nursing, veterinary, optical, pharmaceutical. And honestly, I believe in really kind of focusing in on your niche and being
Mhm.
really, really, really good at that one thing, as opposed to diluting your resources,
Yes.
your knowledge. Because as you said earlier, it takes a lot to recruit. Like, you know, the last, gosh, how many, 7 years, I guess, that I've been in business or incorporated the company, 7, 8 years, we've built a network of people, right? It's not just going out. It's 7, 8 years of combined filling the funnel, the pipeline, the people, the credibility, the seminars, all the contacts that we've made, and to scale that in other industry, it changes the dynamic of the company, and we really focus on having that concierge white glove service for our clients. And I guess that's what differentiates us for sure, is having that, holding your hand and working with our client to meet them where they're at, so that we can best serve them with their hiring process. If there's something within their hiring process that they say, you know what, we love that you do this, but we want to take this. No problem. We'll meet you where you're at, and do whatever we can to take everything off that you don't want to do, and find you, the best person. Ultimately, they are the deciding factor, but we want to have that concierge white glove service for our clients. And so not everybody is our client. I don't want to work with 100%.
Everybody.
I want to
Yeah.
work with 20% who really value our services, and I want to spend that time with them. So that's what differentiates us.
Love it. That's amazing. And you know what? I guess when you specialize like that, finding clients becomes easier, getting referrals becomes easier, and then you do get that question of, hey, can you serve physiotherapist? And in your case, you're like, no, I'm only doing this. But if
Yeah.
you say I serve everybody, that second question never comes.
Yeah.
And people don't know who everybody is, but
Yeah.
they know a few dental companies or a
Right.
few dentists.
Yeah. Everybody ultimately ends up being nobody.
Yeah.
Right? It's just kind of
Yep.
how it goes, because people don't remember those things. If you're out, and I do a lot of networking events as well, and people ask, what do you do? And, oh, I do recruitment for everybody. And like, they're not going to think of anybody, but it's like, talked about, and I did a blog about the reticular activating system, our RAS, where we focus on, it's a filtering system in our brain that says, you get what you focus on. When you tell your brain, or you focus on one thing, it's going to filter everything out and find that one spot. But if you're talking to somebody and you're telling them what you do, and if they're not hearing anybody, they're not hearing specifics, they're filtering it all out. So you got to be very specific on what you're looking for. And so that's why we chose to stick with the dental.
I love it. We could probably geek out on that for another hour, but for the interest of
I know I
time,
could.
yes. Um, so give us some of your company's milestones and what you've achieved along the way.
Oh, I love these questions. especially at the time of reflection and rejuvenation for a new year, a new quarter century, right? Yeah, you know what? I sometimes as business owners, we're so busy going on to the next thing that we don't actually stop and say, okay, actually, what did I achieve? And so I would say, you know, obviously going from not knowing anything about dental really to going into a company where now we've built a pretty good brand and reputation where we've got referrals and steadily busy and have some great people in this wonderful industry where obviously I've co-authored 2 books, The Dental Edge for the dental space. So that was a huge milestone for us. And then also recently, we just we're soft launching, or it's gone live, is our Inspire dental app. So it's basically an app where we connect dental professionals with dental office dentists or dental practice owners who are looking for staff, not just temping. And originally we were going to just do temping, but we serve everybody. And so the idea is that we wanted to create a dental network where all dental professionals across Canada can come to this one app and be connected with full-time, part-time, temp professionals, or post, just your as dentists, you can post your jobs, you can post your ads, you can get connected with people who are temps, looking for temps, and or permanent and part-time, and just a big forum for dental professionals, specifically one-stop shop for them. So that's really, really exciting for us. We're just kind of in the beta launch for that, and I'm super excited for this year because we're really going to push it hard with getting as many people signed up as possible to serve the dental space.
Yeah. And so, is this a mobile app or a web-based or both?
Yeah, so it's not on the App Store yet because I wanted to really be able to focus it by geography. It's a dental wrapper, so it's a web based, but it is an app. It acts as an app, or you can use it on your desktop as well.
Beautiful. Do you have a name for it yet?
Yeah, the Inspire dental app.
Dental app. Okay.
Yeah.
And then is it launched? Like can people get access to it right now, or
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
where do they go
So
to?
you can go to app.inspireopportunities.com. So again,
And
app.ourcompanyname.com.
app.inspireopportunities.com.
Yep.
Beautiful. I love that idea of connecting people and becoming the marketplace for everything dental recruitment.
Yeah, exactly. I love the way you said that. I'm going to actually use that. The
You might want to write
marketplace.
that down and come
the-
back to the show.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah, exactly. The marketplace for everything dental recruitment. I'm actually writing this down. I love it.
I probably would not remember that line 2 minutes from now.
That me neither. That's why I'm writing it.
Yeah. Anyways, so Melissa, I love what you've been up to. Building the brand, authoring 2 books. While we're at it, give us the name of your 2 books and where people can get
Oh,
them.
yeah, sure. So originally it was going to be 1 book, but it ended up being 2 because we serve 2 markets. So our first market is the dentist or dental practice owner. So Dental Edge, attract, retain, and engage top talent. So this one is for dental practice owners and dentists who want to attract and retain. Okay, so that's the book for you guys. And then this one, also the Dental Edge of the same series, this is for the dental professional who wants to stand out and create a thriving career you love. So these are both available on Amazon. I think they're on, there's a couple other outlets that actually started having these available as well. Barnes and Noble, which was kind of cool. That was exciting. But Amazon, you can go right to Amazon and order them, and it'll be on your doorstep a couple days later.
So if you go on Amazon, search for the Dental Edge and or Melissa Barlock, your books should show up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then what is it selling on Amazon for right now?
I believe it's 19.
That's for the print?
Yeah, 19 for the
Does
print.
it come in the Kindle version too?
It does, yeah, and I believe that's 9 and change.
All right.
Canadian. Yeah.
Yeah. Gank, go on Amazon and get her book if you run a dental office or if you manage an office or you are related to dental offices. Go on Amazon, search Melissa's name and or the Dental Edge and get her books.
Thanks.
So Melissa, what are some of the challenges that you faced reaching your milestones over the years?
Hmm. Some of the milestones, or challenges. I would say, well, time for one, because obviously with, writing a book and creating an app, gosh, if you're gonna create an app, just imagine the time that it's gonna take and then double it. Just like a just
Sometimes
like a
times 10.
yeah, times at least, and then imagine the amount that it's gonna cost and then triple it.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think it's time. Yeah, time was probably the biggest thing because, while doing that, we're also running, a full-time recruitment company. So there's that, and then there's obviously home life and kids and things like that. So I would say time for sure. With the app, it was because I'm not a software developer. It's a completely different lane. And
Yep.
so I went into it with the thinking of, oh yeah, I've got these great ideas and here they are and make them happen. But it didn't work out that way. It was kind of like, okay, I had to be involved in every single step and then checking and going back. And then it was a lot of work. Okay. I like, would I do it again? I don't know. To be completely honest. Am I happy that I did? Yes, 100%. But it's a lot of work. Yeah, I would just say time, and obviously money. You just gotta kind of be really focused on it, and because it's a passion. When you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. So I think that's really important. That if you're going to start a project like that, especially alongside, having another full time business or running a company or doing other things, you need to have passion because otherwise you're going to run out of steam and you need that kind of why and that passion to really fuel you forward.
That's amazing. Yeah, time is important. And I have a similar experience with building an app where I was just fresh and brand new into it, and we spent a lot of time and money on things that we weren't supposed to.
Yep.
And yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. And what would you say is holding you and your business back right now?
Hmm. That's a great question. I I always believe that you are in your own way. Like not you, but I think that it's more up here, right? Like, I think we all have good days, bad days, days where we're so inspired and like, yeah, I can do anything. And then other days you're like, oh, what am I doing? I think that as long as you have like those, it really is discipline. Motivation, it comes and goes, but I think discipline to continue doing what you're doing. And I'm human. And there's some days where I think like, man, I don't know in me. I think I would be the person in my own way because I truly believe that everybody in life is limitless. There are limitless resources. I don't, I have a lot of people say to me that, oh, you've got competition here, you've got competition there. I don't see it as competition. I genuinely believe that there is enough business out there for everybody. I
Mhm.
genuinely believe that, you partner with the people that you're meant to. And at the end of the day, it really is just mindset. And if you're not thriving, I think that sometimes you got to kind of dig deep within and figure out, okay, what's going on in my mind. It like a lot of times it's us, um, who we get stuck because of our own, because of ourselves, our mindset. That would be my answer to that.
Yeah, this is gonna sound rude, but I guess a lot of times I get stuck because of my own shit. Just
100%. Yeah. No, that's you couldn't have said it better, right? Get out
and,
of your head.
and that's a common thing with entrepreneurs where we need to get out of our own way.
Yeah. And
To,
that's, I mean, even, I do a lot of trainings and seminars and lectures for dental students. who are just graduating, and I teach them the same things. That's why I wrote this book, and a lot of what I teach is kind of out of the book. Is really kind of it's defining who you are, figuring out who you are first. Because if you don't know who you are, what your core values are, what you stand for, how can you focus on something that you don't know, which way you're going? So I think some people they spend so much time at school and focusing on studies, which is absolutely important, but there's another major part. Like, I truly believe that personal development is massive. Really invest in yourself. You are your greatest investment. So if you don't know who you are, and what school asks you that, what program really, unless you're doing your own kind of personal development journey, you don't really tap into that until you get older. I know I did, and I wish I knew a lot of the things that I know now back then, because it would have helped me to kind of focus on things that might have helped me to get quicker to where you wanted to go. Now, that's not to say that I have regrets, because that's not what I'm saying at all. Just saying that when I'm talking to students, especially, it's like, okay, so who are you? What are your core values? What kind of office do you want to partner with? Don't just go for the money, because it's not going to serve anybody if you get into an office where your values aren't aligned. It's really important to figure out who you are and then give that away and work on yourself every single day. So important.
Love it. Um, Mindset. So if you had a magic wand, where would you use it? What would you do with it?
If I had a magic wand, I mean, that's such an open-ended question. I mean, first of all, I'd clean my desk. Imminent concerns right now. In business, I guess, what would I do? I'd
Yeah.
have every single dental professional signed up for my app. Uh, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'd have everybody across Canada would have, one of these books on their shelf. They would have read it and they would have gotten value. They get value out of it. I'd have everybody signed up to the dental temping app and finding value in it. That would be fantastic. And I would, yeah, those would be the top two things right now.
Love it. Love it. And so, what's the? How does your app work in terms of the payment? Is it? Does it offer a free trial? Can you go in, or
Okay,
what?
so
How
I'm
does it
glad
work?
you
I
asked,
guess.
because I'm deciding. Well, it's absolutely free for dental professionals, always. Like, that's dental candidates who are looking for jobs. And I'm actually not charging for dentists for 2025. So it is free, it's completely
Ooh.
free. So my goal, like I said, my goal
Ooh.
is to 100% have this as a dental network for people to find value and connection within the dental community. I'm not interested. Yes, you know, of course, we all need money to be able to do things, but um, I really want people to find value, and it's important for that. So I'm not charging. So 2025, it is absolutely
Interesting.
free.
So they could find someone and hire someone for
Yes, the
free.
connection is for free. So if they find a temp, and a temp works for them, for example, and
Uh huh.
they work an 8-hour shift, the dentist has to pay them. So that's not free.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they need to get
Yeah.
paid. But
Obviously.
the
Yeah.
service of being on the app and being connected to another dental professional, so the service of using the app is free. Right. So there's no,
Wow. That is a generous,
yeah, so there's
generous
no
offer.
connection fee.
Wow.
So we're not, like I said, the goal for this year is to get as many people on the platform and using it and finding value. And so it's really, really important to get as many people as possible, and testimonials where people are actually using it and finding benefit.
That's beautiful. Um, And is there anything like it out
There's
there?
other dental temping apps in specific locations, but I don't think anybody is doing what we're doing in terms of like usually it's like a temping app only, but we're gearing it up to be temping as well as full-time, part-time, permanent connections. Yeah. So
Beautiful.
I think, as far as I know, I could be wrong. I think we're the only ones that do that.
That's amazing. Beauty, beauty. So again, to get access to that app, was it app dot
App.inspireopportunities.com. So app.inspire opportunities.com.
boom? Yeah, gang, go to that link and at least test it out for free and have access to it and see
Yeah.
what you'll see. Um, Speaking of books, Melissa, give us two of your favorite books of all time.
Hmm. Gosh, I love to read. I actually started a book club 3
Hmm.
years ago with my, neighbors, and it's been amazing. But I will say that my 2 all-time favorite that has probably made the most difference in my life personally and professionally, first one would be, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Absolutely,
Hmm.
hands down. I even give it to my kids to read. Like, you guys need to read this in order to thrive in life personally and professionally 100%. So that one, and the other one I would say is The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And super simple, easy read. Really like just basic stuff that we forget sometimes. It's really just
Yep.
living life, being impeccable, don't take things personally, do your best and don't make assumptions. Those are basically the four agreements. And we sometimes forget that. So, I keep that by my bedside and try to remember that every day.
Beautiful. Amazing books. I have read How to Influence People years ago, but I have not read The Four Agreements. It is on my list,
Do
but
it.
now,
It's a quick
thanks for the
read.
reminder.
I'd
I'm
love
going
to
to
hear
pick it
your
up.
feedback on it.
I will read that book and I will let you know because it was actually very timely with what I'm going through
Mm.
personally right now. So
I think everybody can, even if
yeah,
you've read it before, like I go back and I'll read snippets of How to Win Friends. If you've read How to Win Friends and Influence People, and if you've gone on kind of a personal development journey, you'll find things in the Four Agreements that you go, yeah, that, I've read that, but you may hear it in a different way. So do it. And I'd love to hear your feedback.
yeah, I will. I will. I promise you, I will read it. Here, I'm saying it live on TV. We're live on social media. Anyway, so what's one advice that made a big impact on your life or business?
Yeah, one piece of advice. It's interesting that I draw a lot of so I think you've gathered just by our conversation that I do a lot of personal development. I truly believe in investing in yourself. I've gone to a lot of events, and I've had my own coaches and taking things like this. It's not somebody specific, but it would be, gosh, there's quite a few, but I'll say step up.
Do you have like an 80/20 type of advice? Or there's one thing made a
Yeah, I
big
mean,
difference.
step outside your comfort zone. Like, for me, that
Hmm.
truly is where the growth is, and when things seem scared, I always go back like, that's one of my values, like, be open to things. Say yes and figure it out along the way. Say yes and do it anyway. That's all along the lines of be open, say yes, figure it out along. You don't need to know everything before you start. Step outside your comfort zone because there's so much waiting for you on the other side. And it's not one person or mentor who has said that, but it's reiterated. And a lot of the things that I read and do always come back to that. And so that's one thing that I wish for everybody to do is that.
Love it. Stepping out of your comfort zone. I mean, for me, all my growth has been when I stepped out of my comfort zone. Like, I for the past 3 or 4 weeks, I've been going out to the gym and
Hmm.
lifting weights, and the growth is always in the out of the comfort zone. And there is, I mean, certain number of reps that I'm comfortable with, but the growth is when it gets painful and it's out of the comfort
100%.
zone.
Yep.
And it's
I
it's
think
it's
everybody can relate to that, right?
it,
That's a great analogy. Yeah.
100%, 100%. Melissa, this has been a great conversation. Thank you for showing up, sharing your expertise, your experience. Again, if you're watching or listening, go on Amazon, search for the Dental Edge, and find her books. And inspireopportunities.com
Yes.
is your
Yep.
website. Did I
Yep. And you can
get
also
that
get to the
right?
link for the app through there as well.
Where else can people reach out to you and
Yeah. Social
connect with
media,
you?
LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. You can go to at Melissa Barlock or at Inspire. But yeah, any one of those is good.
Beauty. Is there any question that I could have asked or should have asked that would add value to our listeners and
No, I
watchers?
think that we just need to have another session so that we can continue on with our conversations because you ask great questions that I think that we could totally elaborate on.
Beauty. Thank you for joining us, gang. If you're watching or listening, make sure to like and comment on the show. If you have any questions for me or Melissa, just comment in on the show and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. And share this episode, grab the link, share it with a dental professional. That's my ask for you. If you know a dental clinic owner, an office manager, or someone that is related to dental offices, grab the link and be like, hey, dude, hey, girl, watch this episode and see what you get out of it. Thank you for joining us. You've been watching to and listening to the Executive Hub Show. My name is Mustafa Hosseini, your host for the show, and we'll see you on our next episode. Bye now.